Speaker number 4, Ruth Levitsky. You only compete against yourself. You only compete against yourself, Ruth Levitsky.
Pretend that's a fire baton. And pretend it was 1978. Well, how many of you had band directors or other mentors that were major dispensators of wisdom? Well, this one liked to be in his warm car on a cold, snowy day, smoking, I won't say what. And he gave us advice as we were practicing in that cold field. You only compete against yourself. He had other words of wisdom too, such as, cold is only a state of mind. Well, I have a fire baton, so pretend this is the fire baton, and the fire is coming out of it. And yes, you're correct, the fire is spreading and the flames are all around us now, and the field is burning. But that didn't stop me from entering the state championship. Now you see, my band never won anything in the state championship, except, you guessed it, the fire baton contest. Now why was that? Well, I was the only contestant. In fact, thanks to me, I was the only contestant ever. They eliminated the contest, thus I am the reigning fire baton champion. And I have the trophy to prove it. So how do you feel about competition? How many of you competed today? How many of you drove today and had to compete for a parking spot? It can really be cutthroat. I had a prompt for a speech I gave once, and I had the costume shop prepare it for me. And it was a knife in the back, and blood was oozing out of it, and it was the most gory prop. In fact, it was so gory, I decided that wasn't something to expose kids to. Because, you know, really, you want to set a good example for children. And I really tried. Now, my brother has really tried to climb up the social ladder, and he sends his kid to a good school and tries to have good influences. But unfortunately, every so often, the kid winds up with me. Now, does he talk about degrees or different jobs? No, one day the kid looks at my golden hamburger. And I knew someday he was going to admire this golden hamburger. What is the golden hamburger? That's what you get when you work at a McDonald's. You get a golden hamburger. And I also got a scholarship to Hamburg University. But being lazy, I dropped out. But I still have the golden hamburger. And I just wonder if he's really going to want this prize. And you know, it makes me think, what prizes do you really want? Once I was in a game, and it was a lacrosse game, and it was something that was really new to Boston. Now the prize to get the ball in was pizza. The prize to get the ball elsewhere was the lacrosse stick. So, of course, I have a beautiful lacrosse stick to this day. This banana's really holding up. So that's what you remember when you're competing against yourself. You really are. It's what prizes that you want to get. We need better light in here. We really need better light in here. Sometimes a prize can be something that you just didn't expect. How many of you know about this show called Glee? I didn't know about this, but last night I was playing with a group of people, and everybody was trying to get into a competition to play with these people to get noticed. I'm not a very good musician. I don't even practice all that much, to be honest. But I knew this sign. It was the only thing I knew. And I guess that's all I needed to know, because I got invited to play with the silent pianist. If somebody can tell me who that is, please do after this. Well, I also won the 2007 World Championship of Public Speaking at the Boston Public Library. My department at MIT put me right on the homepage, winner, International Speech Contest at MIT. We had a party. It was quite a blast. And my husband did ask me, he said, where did you place in that contest, Ruth? I said, well, third. But you know, I'm still a winner. Then he asked the question, Ruth, how many I said, it doesn't matter, dear. Well then, that same year, some of you remember somebody else at MIT won the same contest. But it was not at the Boston Public Library. It was at the international stage. MIT had a smaller party for him. Because he was the second person to win the prize. And they asked me, and they said, well, is this the same contest? I said, well, sort of. So the lesson is here, those of you who are looking for jobs, who are looking for parking, anything you want in life, you really only need one of. So my advice to you is to know what prize you really want. Do you want the pizza? Do you want the hockey stick? Do you want the Harvard education? Or do you really want that golden hamburger? Remember, you only compete against yourself.